Hello everyone, my name is Rodrigo Onofre. I'm a postdoc fellow here at K-State Plant Pathology Department. Today I'm here at the K-State Southeast Research Center located in Parsons. And as you can see here in this field, we're starting to see some yellowish discoloration and also some stunted plants. And if we think about corn season 2021, it's been pretty wet in Kansas. We have had above average rains in several parts of the state, including here in the southeast, right? So when thinking about the yellowish and stunted plants, corn nematodes, it's the same symptoms. So it is important now, if you have a cornfield and you're seeing those symptoms and the area was not flooded, that you check for corn nematodes. Corn nematodes is caused by several species, and if you send that to the lab, we will be able to tell you what species there, but also the population, right? What are the levels in your field? So if you're seeing stunted area, yellow discoloration, those can also be symptoms of corn nematodes. And when you think about the roots, right? The roots will be some brownish spot and some lesions in the roots, which can be very typical of corn nematodes as well. So now let's talk about sampling, right? I have here two plants in my hands, and as you can see, I have a bad sample, stunted, and a good sample. This will be very important in the lab so we can compare the results from the bad sample and the good sample. When sending it to the lab, right, even before that, let me step back here. When removing those plants from the ground, it is important that you don't pull those samples. The roots are going to be very important for us in the lab. So is the soil in this case. So use a shovel, remove them gently from the ground, and keep that soil from the bad sample and the good sample as well, together with the roots, right? And then what you're going to do is get some plastic bags. Make sure that you bag them separately. Label them very well with your field ID and tell us what's the bad and the good plant, and ship that overnight to the lab. If it's very hot, it is important that we keep those plants in a cooler. There's no need of ice, but just avoid that exposure to high temperatures and also low temperatures, which might not be Kansas right now, but avoid leaving those plants at high temperatures because nematodes are living organisms and we need to be gentle with them. Now, another way that you could sample for corn nematodes, if you're in the field and you don't want to send the whole plant with soil, you can still the plant with a shovel and gently remove all that soil from the roots on, right? Like, that doesn't need to be all of it, but a good amount of it. Then you're going to be sending us some corn plants with the roots on it. Put it in a plastic bag. Make sure that you have a cooler with you so we avoid exposing those plants to high temperatures. And then in this case, we also will need some core samples pulling from the ground, right? So here I have a probe, and what we're going to do is be collecting 10 to 15 probes, core samples from the affected area. And it is important that the probe be like about 2 to 3 inches from the main plant, right? And we are collecting in that root zone. That's like 6 to 8 inches from that root zone. Put the probes in a bucket, each core, collect 10 to 15 probes, mix them well, and ship it with your corn plants to the lab. Overnight is always best for this type of analysis. So again, just to highlight a couple of things here that are important. Never, when sampling for corn nematodes, pull the plant, right? Because as you can see here, all the roots stay right there. They were all broken down, and this would be a very bad sample, which will not be a good result for you and will not be as representative as would it be. So use a shovel, send us the roots on with all that soil around, with a good and a bad plant. And in case you're just sending us the plant with the roots, no soil, make sure to collect 10 to 15 core samples, mix them well, and ship it to the diagnostic lab here at K-State. And we'll get back to you within 7 to 14 days. So thank you very much, and if you have any question, please feel free to contact me here at K-State Plant Pathology Department. Have a good day.